We live and die by the stories we tell ourselves about our place in the world. We can either live by a story that tells us to fit in, or we can live by a story that tells us that we truly belong. There is such a difference between fitting in, meaning conforming to a culture that tells us almost who we are meant to be, who we are supposed to be, and belonging, meaning gracefully and purposefully knowing our deepest place in the family of the world. What is the deeper story you and we are living by? What is the body of truth that lives in the depths of who we are and that shapes things like, who am I? What is the purpose of life? What is my role here in the world? Where do I really belong? Deeper story tells us that there is a story beneath the story of our everyday life. Our life story, or better to say our small story, our smaller story, is the one that hasn't embraced the wisdom and the maturity of our true potential, and that oftentimes is keeping us in a small, narrow perspective that is very much associated with our wounded parts and immature parts. From this place, we are captured under a regime of a culture that constantly disappoints us with meaningless and unfulfilling answers. The alchemy that brings us closer to our deeper story is the transformation of our personal story, of our smallest story, into a personal myth. Personal myth invites us to live a symbolic life. It enriches our life with images and metaphors and archetypes that when we embrace in our life, it ushers us to be mythical creatures with divine powers and divine qualities, with an extra flavor of passion and devotion and courage for this life. Living from this place of our mythopoetic identity means embracing our life with responsibility and honor, to fulfilling our soul's desire, our soul's mission. We are probably here not just because we were born. We are here to also become reborn and to keep on being reborn again and again and again until we are reaching the most genuine version of ourselves. So, deeper story and personal myth are holding these unavoidable mysteries of the life-death life cycle. So how is the deeper story being created? How can we create our personal myth? A good place to start is the skeleton of our life story, where we can add elements that we are encountering in the well-known or less well-known stories and myths of the world. Also, the conversations with the nature, with the more than human world, are essential elements to be included in a personal myth, in a deeper story. As well as creating art, engaging ourselves in artwork. It's again revealing and full of possibilities for creating and letting this personal myth of ourselves to emerge. Your deeper story is not a story that belongs only to you. It's a story that belongs to the world. Humans are essential to the story of the world. And given the times that we are living in, there is an urgency to allow the deeper story to unfold and to serve us and the more than human world out there from that place of your personal myth.